Today I'm going to show a very simple optical illusion that anybody can create. You will need paper, you will need a ruler or any straight edge, because we are not measuring, we are just going to do the straight edge. If you don't have a ruler, we can use anything that is straight, maybe an edge of a book, a pencil, and an eraser. And for coloring purposes, you can have colored pencils, markers, or crayons, whatever is available to you. That's for coloring purposes. So what we're going to do is, it doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. We are going to draw a straight line. It could be, if it's a little bit off, don't worry about it, a straight line. And another straight line over here. Oh, actually I could use a marker for that, because this is fine to start off with a marker. If you're using something that to draw a straight line, please hold on to your tight, because when if you're middle of it, if you don't hold on to it, if it moves, then it will mess your artwork up. So I drew a straight line. So I'm going to draw another straight line, vertical line. Stretch out your hands, hold it tight before you start drawing. Okay, so you will get up with 4 windows. After that, match up with the center of where the 2 lines are crossing, match it up and go to the corner over here. So if you go to the corner, so over here, and I'm going to draw from the center of that cross to the corner over here, like that. And always turn your paper, which side of the paper you're drawing, make sure that is closest to you. That should be the easiest. Again, I'll do another one from the center, like corner to the, so this is the corner and that is to the center. Draw another line. So I'm going to finish up doing the other 2 sides. Okay, and if it is a little bit off, that is fine too, because it's okay. So we are going to do like that. So this is our basic structure. So from here, we are going to create our optical illusion. So what we are going to do is, now we are going to use our pencil. Take any section, doesn't matter which one. We are going to create a curved line. And we are going to, and the spacing can be anything, could be close together, could be far away, doesn't have to be even either. So it's totally up to you. So see, when I did this, it ended up in that one. So what I'll do and there's still a lot of space here. So I'm going to draw, but I'm going to take it off the side, and I'll do another one over here. It's okay if it goes off the page like that. Okay, so after we are done with this part, the next one, there will be more curved lines, but they will be the opposite way. Here they were like rainbow, here they will be upside down rainbow. But you have to make sure it touches that point over here. So I'm going to do like that. So it will be wavy like that when you join it over here. Make sure the ends touch, that's all. And look at this one. I ran out of space, but there's a little bit. So what I'll do is I will just go a little bit over here, and that's all I'm going to do. Now we are going to do the next one. Do not skip and do the other part, then it will be messed up. So always go on either this way or that way, whichever part you're done with. We will do the next one. Since this one was an upside down rainbow, this one is going to be rainbow. So it's an alternate. This one this way, this one this way. So this one will follow that one. So we are going to alternate, and we're going to make sure that ends match up like that, like that. So now we have a lot of space, so we can, it's nothing to start from here, so I'm going to start from the middle of the paper and I'm going to just start and end over here. Now this one again, upside down rainbow, and I'm making sure that these ends match up like that. And if you run out of space here, that is okay. We'll just see how much I can take over here. And if just go up the page if you run out of space over here. Now this one would be like that one because I have to skip one, right? That one was like a smiley face, and now this one would be like a rainbow. And now that almost to the end, so I'm going to make one more that goes. So it doesn't match up with anything, you just have a little bit over here. Because these sides are smaller than those, so it will have less of those curves. And that is okay. Now I'm going to do the smiley face one, and I'm going to make sure that those ends match up. Try to make them as high curves as possible. Okay, so this two here it's not matching up, so I'm going to erase a little bit and make sure that this matches up. And I'm going to just make another one like that. See, this one going off the page, but I have a little bit of space here, so maybe I'll change that one up a little bit too and make sure that this one goes and matches up with that side. Both the ends match up over here. So that was a smiley face, and now it's going to be rainbow. So make sure the ends are matching up, so it is going to be a continuous wavy line all throughout. Okay, the last one. So that one was a rainbow. Now I'm going to do smiley face. So now see, both sides I have lines, so I'm making sure that I start with where this line ends and I'm ending where that line ends. So they are matching up. So I'm going to match up all the lines over here. And so now that one ends up with that one, so I do not have any more space, but I have any more lines to match up with, but I have a little bit of space here, so I'm going to go off the page. There you go. So I'm done with my drawing part, and now comes the coloring part. Today I'm going to use markers. You can use crayons, you can use colored pencils, but today I'm going to use markers. You can use a color, like a color family, or you can use complementary colors. Complementary colors are those that are opposite each other in a color wheel. So like red and green, yellow and purple, these are all complementary colors. So I'm going to use a red and green. So I've chosen a green. Now I'll choose a brighter green, and I'll choose a red, bright red. So these two are the complementary colors. So what I'm going to start from the center of that where the lines are meeting, and I'm going to just start with red first. So this, I'm choosing this section. So this section, these are all smiley faces. So I'm going to color in the very first section that I did. And then I'm going to do the same with all the smiley face ones. So I'm going to skip one. I'm going to do this one. Now, if you have, these markers are pretty skinny, and it will take me a long time to color it in. If you have a little bit of wider markers, that would work too, and you'll be able to fill up the areas really, really fast. Crayons will work too. So all you're doing, so I'm going to skip another one, and this one is the smiley face one. So after I do this, I'll show you how to plan it out. I mean, like which part to color, because you would not know without planning it out. So can you see that I have done red, and then I skipped one, red, skipped one, red, skipped one, red. So because you divided your paper into 8 sections, so 4 of them would be the same color. I mean, I chose red. You can choose any other color you want. Now, I will keep these 4 parts right there white, but I'm going to choose this one. So I'm going to make that one green. So that is also called alternating. And so I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to do this one. Same as the red that you have done. You can, whatever you're doing, you're going to skip one and do the other one. So let me finish coloring. I think I'm going to choose something wider. Yeah, something wider like this, so it'll be easier for me to fill it up faster. I'm going to, since I did this one, I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to do this one. Okay, I did this one. I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to do this one. I'm going to color over this one because I changed my markers. Okay, now I'm going to do the red. Red. Okay, now even this way in this section, triangle, so I did that one red, so I'm going to skip this one, make that one red. So it's going to be alternating, going outwards too. So when you're coloring, if you keep your directions the same way from the center outwards, doesn't matter whichever side you choose, it looks way better. Okay, so now it's done. I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to make this one red. So you can also plan it out before. So I'm going to fill this one with red. I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to fill this one with red. So if you are not going to plan it out, that's okay too, as long as you know. So this one is red, so I'm going to skip this one. This one is going to be red. So when you finish coloring, it will end up looking like optical illusion, as if the paper is going up and down, like folded in like balloons. One thing I'll tell you, because today I'm using markers, it won't be as good, but if you use colored pencils and if you, I will show you how to do that also. And if you shade the sides, it looks even more real. Okay, now I'm going to do the green. So this was green, so this is going to be white, and then this is going to be green. Okay, so Okay, so this one's going to, since that is green, this is going to be white, that is going to be green. You can count that way or you can count this way. So you can, that was white in the middle, then green, white, green. So this is going to be green, this is going to be white, this is going to be green, that's going to be white. So you can do that way also. So you can count any which way and alternate it. But the most important part is starting in the middle, because that's where how you start alternating. And I can finish this one up. And I'll show you when I end up finishing coloring them, because I've chosen only 2 colors. You can choose multiple colors and that would look good too. You can experiment. Now that I have finished coloring, this is in itself is a complete optical illusion. You can see, because these curves are like that, it looks like the paper is folded upwards, and since the red ones are curved this way, it looks like the paper has gone down. So it's going ballooned up and down, valley and peak, valley and peak. So can you see that? That's itself an optical illusion. So if you want to make it a little bit more realistic, we can shade the sides, and that I will do with the pencils, and I'll show you how to do that. No, you can, I have only used red and green with it, but you can choose to use lots of other colors and options, but make sure when you're making those bands, alternate. You can, instead of having it white, you can add another color over there, and you can have the same color over here also. So see, I have the white in common that on all the parts. So you can have that, or you can and experiment all different kinds of colors to see where it takes you. It may look awesome when you end up making yours and experimenting with different colors. So I'm going to shade with these 2 colors. I'm chosen a little bit of bluish pink and a little bit darker shade of green, and let me see if it shows up. If the green does not show up on green, I might choose like a black or something else that might show up. So I'm going to only shade these 2 sides, and I'm going to shade this way as if they're ballooning up. So I want to make this part look ballooning up like that, and it is showing up, which is good. So like that. And for the red also, I'm going to go this way. Oh, this one is not showing up as much, so maybe I should use a darker shade, maybe a black. I do not have a darker shade of red, so I'm not going to press on the black as much. I'm going to shade like this. And do it very, very lightly. Do not press very hard on your colored pencils. And if you can curve this one, these strokes a little bit, that will look even more realistic. Okay, this is the simplest way of shading. I will show you another way to make it a little bit more realistic. So the strokes over here continue all the way from end to end, like this. And over here, continue the strokes all the way from end to end. But in the middle, make these strokes longer on the edges, like that. And leave the middle part, like in a circular fashion, leave the middle part without any strokes, with the pure red color. So what it will look like is as if this part, since it's ballooned up, it will look shinier, and it will end up looking even more realistic as if the paper is ballooning up. Don't forget to do this part. See, I'm leaving the middle part off, and I'm just doing only the sides. I'm going to do the same over here. Okay, I think the black is looking way better. I'm going to use black for all of them then. It is showing up much better. Or instead of black, you can use a dark blue and see how it looks. Because if you colored it with crayons, then pencil will not show up. So because I did it with markers, it is showing up. And if I did it with these parts with colored pencils also, if you shade with the colored pencil, it will show up. Only with crayons, you have to shade with crayons. Anything else like markers or colored pencils will not show up. So I'm curving my shades a little bit. Over here. So remember, from both the edges, it goes all the way, and these strokes are longer. And also one more thing you can do, add these parts a little bit darker. So I'm going over them one more time, so these areas would be darker, and slowly it will lighten up when it comes. So I'm putting less pressure over here in the middle part of it. I'm going to use the same black for the green area too, because it looks so awesome. Oh, don't forget to do these parts, but do it very, very lightly, because those will need it to be shaded too. There you go. And a little bit over here, and this part too. Oh, I forgot this red part, which has to be pretty dark. Now I'm going to go on to say I'm done with all this section. I'm going to do this part. For the white part, for the middle part, you have to do very little. Make just the sides, and it should be done. But as you go higher up, you might have to do a little bit more. For the green part, because it's ballooning up like that, you can have another choice instead of for the white parts to make it look lighter. So I am choosing like a lighter, like a yellowish green over here, and I'm going to do that, so it will give another illusion as if it's coming up, and it's reflecting up the greenish hue of this part. You could do the same with this part. This one you can use like a lighter shade of red, and you can do that too. It will end up looking awesome. And I'm going to do the black one over here. Oops. I just missed and went to the other side. So don't rush. That's what happens when you rush. So here you see, because I'm imagining that that straight line is going there, and if you continue, it might end up somewhere over here till here. So this part, the shadow will not show as much it will do over here. So it's going off the page. So you have to figure out, like, extend your paper and see where these things end up, and that's where you're going to do all the shadows. Oh, I am not done with that one. I'm going to do this part. Okay, this part is done. In this top of this green marker, the black and the green pencil is kind of looking pretty much the same because it's such a dark color. You can use any dark color. It doesn't have to be that particular type of color. Like, you could have used a darker blue also. That would have looked just fine. I'm going to put the over here. So remember to change your colors whichever section you're shading. I'm finishing up the last bits of the shading, so when I'm doing that, I'll just talk to you about how the shading is done so you can have a more realistic optical illusion approach. So I'm doing this part right now. So I'm just reminding you that I am just making the shadow part all the way through over here, and I'm going some straight strokes over here, but not too much. I'm lessening out the pressure on my pencil. Same with here, and then I'm going to change the direction. I'm going to curve my lines like that. Now I'm going to have longer strokes at the edge. I'm going to make them shorter over here, and when I'm coming to at the back edge, I'm going to make again longer stroke. Over same here, longer stroke at the back, and make this part a little bit darker than this part because it should gradually become lighter from here to here. And then so here the shading is on straight line. It will not look as realistic, but you have to make sure that this gap of that pure color should have like a oval roundish edge. Do you see that over here? This is kind of round. Same here, this is kind of round. And look at this white spot. This empty spot is kind of like a kidney shaped roundish edge. So if you so to create that, this is how you do. You have longer strokes on the edge, slowly make it shorter. This part should have the shortest strokes, and then again make them longer. So this will create like a round edge over here. Do not try to outline it. No. If you outline it, that will take away from the realistic optical illusion. So try not to outline it and just do that by shading like this. So I'm done with all the colored parts. All that is left are this white parts, and same with light, very few straight strokes on both the edges. The darkest would be on the sides, and then I'm going to change and curve my lines like that. So here the strokes would be longer all the way through, and then longer, and then short, and again slowly make it longer, so it will create a curved edge over like that. So I'm almost done, and then I'm going to, I wish I had did this with a red colored pencil. It would look even more realistic because I've used like a light green shade over here. I wish I had thought of using a looks like these lines are a little bit too long, so I'm going to erase it and I'm going to redo that, because sometimes the pencils are like dark, the pressure is too much. You don't want to do that. Do very light shading, and it will look like shadows. Okay, this kind of looks like an oval shape. Don't forget these corners right there, and there's another one over here. Okay, looks like this is all straight line, so I have to increase some of the lengths of these ones over here, so it will end up looking like a curved line. Okay, this part is done. I only have 3 more spots, so I'm going to do that with the lighter shade of greenish yellow color. Longer strokes at the edges, slowly short, and then again we can make it longer when you go to the other side. Same with this side, longer strokes here, short, 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 again long over here, and darken the edges. Okay, it looks like ovalish, so I have a little bit of a left white over here. Don't forget all the itsy bitsy on the edges, like tiny pieces that look like as it's going off the page. Don't ignore them. You have to finish each and every part. After this section, I'll be done with the optical illusion part. I hope I have not missed anything. I'll just do a little bit over here. There you go. Okay, now to get the real taste of it, the real fun of it, squint your eyes and have a look at it. The greens will jump out as if it's ballooning up, and the other part, the red part, as if it's caving in, so as if the paper got folded like that. That is the optical illusion. Happy creating!